interesting that gets mentioned, because I woke up this morning thinking, what is the cloud? Like, where does it go? And then I was relating it to, obviously, the scanner, thinking, so, all these people that don't get how it works, like, well, where's their information going with the iCloud? Like, we can pull that down at any time, can't we? We just need to connect to it. And I thought, what an incredible analogy with regards to what we're doing with this technology. Is like, in a moment, we can just pull down what it is that, that person's needing. And I thought, I'm going to start using that as an analogy. I need to do a bit of a research about it. But
a lot of people still don't understand that, do they? So
no.
They really don't.
And I don't understand the cloud, but I'm going to go ahead and do my research so that I can then just go, well, that's sort of like, we don't think about the phone and how it connects, do we? We don't.
No, we just take it for granted, don't we?
It's about not overcomplicating it, I believe. So, So if it's okay with you all, I wouldn't mind just taking just a moment to just acknowledge I'm not too sure if you're aware, but we lost a beautiful fellow QLA. And if it's all right with you, I wouldn't mind just taking a moment's pause just to send some beautiful love and gratitude to beautiful Bronwyn that passed. That's okay, if you don't mind? Yeah. Family and loved ones, we can just take a moment. Beautiful, beautiful. So really tonight, if there's something in particular you would like some assistance with, I don't know now, I haven't met you all. You've probably seen me pop up here and there and around the show. But I'm a biohacker and energy alchemist. So I work with energy. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? And I do lots of things, but I do mentoring, and I came across the scanner nearly 2 years ago, and it was actually something that I'll just give you a very brief snippet if you're okay for me to do that. As to how I came across this is I actually prophesied something back in 2018 that was literally the abilities of what this, and I can tell you now, you ain't seen nothing yet, because what I saw, I believe this device is actually going to be able to go to the extent down the track when it comes with.
I'll come back.
Frozen, can you believe that?
Doesn't want her to tell us as yet.
Yeah, it's a secret.
This is exactly what it was that I actually saw. Yeah.
You froze then, and we didn't hear any of that. Can you believe that? And it's happened again.
Sorry, you lost me for a minute, didn't you?
Yes, we did. We didn't hear. We heard. If it does what I prophesize it's capable of doing, it's going to blow your mind. And then that was it.
Oh, okay.
And we were
that was enough. And then it just went, there you go. The recording should be smooth. So if anything cuts out, just know that because I have full bars, it's just because the energy is just amongst us all is they can't handle us. That's the way. I can't handle it. And same, very much like Beck, Steph McCurdy reached out to me and said, oh, can I do a scan for you? And I went, yeah, just show me, like, just do a scan and send it to me. I sort of already know that this is going to be exactly what I'm looking for my own health and my own journey. And of course, been personal development mentor and all that. It was just beautiful, and I use it within any of my mentoring or work that I do. It is the foundation of everything, because I truly believe that it's the emotional response that we need to address first above anything. Like I said, if you don't do anything else with the device, and just do the inner voice, you are 100% winning. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am very new to this and I have no experience whatsoever about frequencies or anything like that. So I'm very interested to hear exactly what you have to say.
Oh, beautiful. Wonderful. Well, this is a great training. I mean, this is obviously a focus group, and I do apologize. I wasn't here last week. I had my mum to attend to, bless her. She's 85. She lives up here in Cervantes, but she had a medical appointment we had to get to. So I do miss. So if you were here last week, was there anything from that you needed to talk about anymore? If there's anything, I think because we've got such a lovely small group here, what is it that I can assist you with? Obviously, I work with energy a lot, and I'm all about shifting energy and biohacking in a moment, what we get to do and how we get to feel. So I can certainly take you through some techniques, but you know, if you're just new here, maybe there's something that, you know, I don't want to overwhelm you with so much incredible information within obviously the Frequency Soul Collective that you have access to. So I don't really want to double dip, but if there's something that just comes to mind that you think that I might be able to assist you with tonight, please ask, please, let's have a conversation. You know, land it on me. What is it that you would like to talk about in particular?
I think I just want to understand it all. It's quite overwhelming to think that this device, you know, can do what I'm being told it can do. But like I do that scanning where you get all the emotions, like the A, F, C, and then you get the one down the bottom.
Yes.
So with those three and the one down the bottom, the way I get it is the one down the bottom is the one that you should concentrate on and listen to or use. Is that correct?
Definitely. Yeah. Great question. They all are really important because they're there for a reason. They get come back to us because that's what we're needing. That is the one that the emotion that we're suppressing the most. That's the one that's like the gritty one. That's the one that usually if we get to that one, we don't want to listen to it, or we may have a big reaction to it. You may not have anything to it, but if you were going to focus on one, and there wouldn't be, to me, I'm sorry, but there wouldn't be a reason why you'd only focus on one. But like if there was one that you wanted to, say you were quickly going through your report and you only had a second, I would scroll straight up to the bottom one, and that would be the one that I would look at. But I would, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
thanks,
okay. And so it said, I'm just trying to think what it says, like it says you should hydrate or do this or do that or something else like that. And then there are supplements you should take. So, you know, do you follow that precisely for that day, or, you know, how does that work?
Yeah, great question. And really, honestly, just keep it as simple as possible. Like when I'm running people through the report, I will just generally say, you know, these are the things, suggestion. Now, if you're wanting to help optimize, you know, at the moment that you're just not feeling right, you know something's going on. Obviously, that's why you're getting a scan. You want to see, generally it's because something's not, you know, emotionally, physically, all those things isn't quite right. This is just a guide for you. So maybe something, the hydration, like what water are you drinking? That would be the next question. If they turn around and say, well, I drink a lot of water, or you say, I drink a lot of, well,
how much?
Wine, yeah. And so,
What
and then
kind of water?
Kind of water.
Sorry, what was that, Sandra?
What kind of water? Because, you know, most of the water's got fluoride and chemicals in it, and fluoride's bad for your pineal gland, and it's a neurotoxin. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Good quality water.
Drinking? Yeah, definitely. And you know, with you know, what I know with biohacking is the importance that, again, whether it's mineralized and where it's actually saturating our cells. So I don't want to overwhelm you. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, Cecilia.
Sandra.
Sorry, Sandra. I do apologize. Yes, I know Cecilia.
And Sandra.
I'm going to write Sandra down because I will reference you. We've got 2 Sandras.
Where?
That makes it easy.
Me.
Yeah,
Also.
Sandra's on.
Oh, I didn't realise that. Sorry.
I'm a Sandra.
It's a great name. I love
It
it.
is. Me too. It's not many
There
Sandras.
isn't
I like
actually.
that.
There's lots of Michelles and there's lots of Rebeccas, I've worked out.
Yes.
Hey, beautiful Anthea. Thank you for joining. Hi, darling. Hi, love.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful. So what I would, where I'm coming from, Sandra, is just coming back to really just, I know there's a lot for you to learn and it does feel overwhelming and all stuff. Please just keep it so simple. Like really just keep it so simple. Don't think, I don't even know all the answers, even in that voice report. I honestly, when I first started, like I've been 2 years and there's some days I miss, I will be honest, but I know when I've missed my scan. Yeah. I don't necessarily read my report now, but when I started, I would do the flick through and just have a quick look at what emotionally was happening. And I go, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. And then I would look at the suggestions on what I can support.
Yeah.
And if it
Right.
comes back and says, oh, chiropractic adjustment or needed, it's like, yeah, well, that's so relevant because it's been months since I've had my massage, which I normally have. So what can I do for me to help support that? Not just keep, especially if you keep saying, if it keeps coming up every day, it's like a little tap on the shoulder. Come on, you know, I'm giving you a suggestion here. There's a reason this is occurring. That's not only going to just correct that, it will help different things. It might help the hydration of the water. You know, this is, our bodies are so phenomenal. It's not just one thing that we're addressing.
Yeah.
That doesn't really answer exactly what you're saying, but please know that within your training, you do have so many incredible videos. The Solex LLC is the YouTube. Please go and subscribe to the Solex LLC, which is on every Thursday here in Australia, our time it comes on. And the beautiful thing with that is you can go into the timestamp. So if you just go into the more info underneath the actual title of it, and it'll have a drop down and it'll show you what they're talking about. So you can skip all the, you know, if you haven't got time to watch it all, they only go for half an hour. But if you want to go to the training for that week, it will state what it is. That is one of the most informative ways I've been able to learn, other than the greatness that we have obviously in our calls and stuff, but they're just anywhere between like maybe 10, 15 minutes. They're a really good way.
And are they on YouTube all the time, or is it just a certain time?
It's on every week, so it's Wednesday evening for them over there in the States. It's in Western Australia, it's 8:30 a.m. on the Thursday. So wherever you are, I know you guys are in Perth. You lovely ladies are in Perth. But if you're over east, obviously, yeah. But they're there all the time. You don't like. It's great to go live because it's just, you know, if you just put it in your time, which I have, that's I get on there live and listen. I just love being able, because you can actually get on there and talk at the same time and, you know, comment and congratulate and all that. But that's a really good one to reference. But Sandra, please, just all I can suggest is don't overwhelm yourself. Just make sure that you yourself are doing your scans. And if you just do your inner voice, just focus on that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do.
Yes.
And I also do those Sephi
Beautiful.
reach and affirmations.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. You've got an incredible assistance there with Cecilia, you know, and I'm sure she's we're all still learning because it's changing all the time. We're forever evolving. But thank you for popping that up there. Sandra, she just popped up in the chat the link for us to look at.
That's to the blog, because remember,
the blog, yes.
On Thursdays, it's usually around 11:30 Melbourne time, which is about 9:30 your time.
Mm-hmm.
But they mentioned last week about the blog, and they do some. If you can have a look, click on that link, it will give you some information too.
Can I take a photo of that?
Yeah.
I'm just hang on, it's still up there. I just want to take a photo, so I
Yeah,
think that will be the best way for us to,
yeah.
and then pass it.
And then I'll show you the Solex on YouTube as well if you want.
So it's
It's-
8:30 our time, is it? Yeah.
Yes, 8:30
Yeah.
on Thursday, West Australian time.
Yeah.
Yes.
On a
One
Thursday.
day.
Thursday.
Or-
Yeah, which
yeah.
is perfect, you know, good, really
Oh,
good
that's
time.
great fun.
But all the videos, so you can go back, when you go in there, you'll see everything's recorded. You can go back as far as you want to. Every week
Yeah.
there's calls, but they have all the little videos in there. It's just a
There's
plethora
another-
of information. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, there's heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps.
Yeah. But again, just don't, you know, don't get too over consumed, because the best way to learn about this is to get in there and play with it yourself.
Yeah. And stick to one thing and sort of try
Yes.
and not master it, but try and understand
Absolutely.
it as much as you can. And
And
then
if that's, and if that's the inner voice, that's all I suggest. You know
Yeah.
that, because it's a foundation of the rest of it.
Yeah,
But when I speak about it, I say, when I'm, you know, have a new QLA or someone coming on board, it's just like, you cannot go past go until you've done your inner voice. Then don't even think that you can do anything else. Well, you can't
Right.
for a lot of them, because you can't do your vitals and you can't do your other things. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
great.
No,
Thank you.
that's fine. I'll concentrate on that then.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Right.
I have a question.
Yes, Sandra.
So, and I just couldn't find it, and sometimes I just find it easier to ask. I've got someone coming tomorrow who wants to get an Alpha 3 pass,
Mhm.
and she's also interested in buying the Illuminator. Is the best way, my upline suggested I set her up as a retail customer. Is there a form that I need to fill in to do that?
No, you can still do that on your site. There is the
Okay.
option of retail. So you've got retail,
Yep.
you've got preferred customer, and you've got the QLA.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the retail, just understand they don't get any of the, I'm not going to say the discounts. I don't like using that word, but you understand what I mean, the difference in,
Yep.
you know, the price. So retail is just a set price. So they'll pay more with regards to what it is that we can get as a preferred customer. Now, just understand, preferred customers, you know, you can get them to come on and just, you know, I've had a lot of people just come in to get that little bit of a saving. And then, you know, I always say to them, look, 5 days before the end of your cycle, you're going to get a email to remind you that your subscription's due to come out. I actually always touch base, always make a note in my diary, you know, in my calendar that, you know, that's going to occur. And I just contact and just say, look, you may have already received an email, but if you haven't, you're going to get one asking whether you still want to, you know, carry on with your subscription. And I mean, I would think that you're probably conversing with those, you know, people in that time frame and not just leaving it to that conversation. Anyhow. So yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So does that
Thank
answer
you.
your question, Sandra?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah. You can do manual forms, and I know a lot of people just like doing the manual forms. There's one thing that I would really like Solex to do, and that's actually upgrade the website. I think it's coming. I believe it's coming. So
Okay.
how that looks and how it works, I'm not too sure. But
Yep.
I think there's just some tweaks that they could be using. But if you find that it's easier to do a manual form, you can talk through with, you know, your potential there in person or online, or you can send it to them and they can fill out as much as they can, and then you can fill out the rest. I mean, it's really that, again, that communication, that conversation, what works for you best. If they're a really busy person, they probably don't want to be going online and
Yeah.
doing the whole process. You know, they'll probably say, look, if I send you the form, if you just fill out your credit card details and blah, 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 just give me the basics, then I can fill it out for you. Like, just, it's so important, you know, to communicate. You know, it's a big thing, which is what I love so much about this particular company and the foundation that Lauren and that have set up, is the communication that we get to have in working in the way that we do with this frequency. it's so beautiful because it's not something I've seen in many other companies that I've worked with over the years in different businesses. It really does allow you to open up the floodgates to really, create a safe space for that person. And I think that, we're all energy. That's what it's all about. And the reason they've connected with you is because of obviously something that attracted them to you, or them. So just that, I think communication is definitely key in sustaining your QLAs as well. Yeah.
And what happens if something they want to order is out of stock? How do I know when it will come back in stock?
Just jump online. It will actually have it on there. If you it'll say on there out of stock, or I think that's it. Does it say out of stock?
Yeah, it says pre-order. Order now. And you
Pre-order.
yeah.
Are you looking at the band?
No, I was looking at the illuminator. That's what she wants to buy.
Yeah.
But if I try to add it,
So
it won't let me.
So what would, so just on that, just what the steps would be that I'd recommend you do if you had a question that came up, like you're putting an order in and say that's come up as you're sitting there with your client. The first port of call will be jump in the Frequency Soul Collective Facebook messenger chat and just say, does anyone know, have they heard when these are due? Instead of then going straight to support, because we already might have the answer. Now, I know you're probably aware of this, Sandra, but I'm just letting the other Sandra know, there's just a process just to save a whole lot of conversation and time.
Yep.
So you can just quickly jump in there. Yeah, jump in there when you're with your when you're communicating with someone, just jump into the group, ask. Someone usually gets back. I mean, it's a great chat because we're all in different time zones, so someone's going to be able to answer. If no one knows, then you would go and send a message to support and say, just inquiring. And they're really good. Other than the weekends, I believe,
they're good.
Remembering they'll be one day behind us, they're really good at responding. Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's okay. Anthony, did you have any questions? I'm sort of leaving it open tonight.
No, I'm just popping in for the last bit, but I have to leave and I've got to do a AO's consultant in 2 minutes. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, easy success with that.
Yes. Well, I was at the Mind Body Spirit down Sydney, so I've already got one on tonight. So
well done. It looked like it was a beautiful event.
It was fun. It was fun. It was busy. There was a lot of talking. So
okay. A little bit husky there.
Less talking today and a little bit of a sleeping.
Yeah, well done. Now, were you involved in the little bingle? Were you in the car?
No, I was the one that was safe.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I flew in a little bit later.
Right. Well, thank you for going down there and spreading the love. We have our Perth one coming up. Hello.
Someone's got out of bed.
Okay.
Oh.
Hello, beautiful. Hello. Hi.
Right.
Gorgeous.
I do have to go because I said 7:30 to the other ladies.
Gorgeous. Well, all the best.
I'll speak to you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, yes.
Can I just ask, what is this one happening in Perth?
I know.
Oh, do you? Okay. All right.
Are you, Cecilia, you're coming? Are you going?
Yeah, and of course Sandra's going to come. She doesn't know as yet.
Oh, wonderful. I don't know. Is it every women's? It's every women's exercise.
Oh, every woman's.
Yes.
So,
So we're
right.
going to have a
Yeah.
stand there.
Oh,
So,
cool. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know any
Yeah,
of
no,
this.
You're going to love it. Well, I'll get to be able to meet you both, which will be fabulous.
yes, that's nice.
Great.
Yes.
No,
So-
that's great.
Yeah.
June 6th.
somewhere. Well, it's a weekend, isn't it? It's a whole weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
So
lovely.
beautiful. So who of you are aiming for Punta Cana?
No, I haven't even thought about it because really it's all very new to me as well.
Sure.
So I'm
That's okay.
on my feet at the moment.
Absolutely fine.
Punta
it's sort of-
Cana is?
Oh, we'll fill you in, Cecilia. It's all there. How about you, Sandra?
I don't know
Oh,
what it is. What's Punta Cana?
It's
Cecilia will let you know all about it.
Sounds like secret women's business.
It's a holiday that you win if you sign up at least 15 QLAs between over a 12-month period.
So it's a
I
sort of-
won't. I haven't made it either. I haven't signed anyone up as yet. So
That's okay.
yeah,
Is
and
it
that's
some-
I'm okay.
And is it something you'd like to, like, without thinking about how? Is it something you'd like to? Yeah.
I'd love to. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd love to.
Nothing's
So-
impossible. Nothing's
I
impossible.
know. So I've been working, actually while we've been talking, I've been folding the new AO scan flyers. Yes.
Fabulous.
Yes. So it's something I'm working on. So
Okay. Yep. Beautiful. So one thing that I do, which has been very successful over my years on this planet, is putting myself right into the heart of what it is that I want to achieve. I'm very much about, manifesting and whatever you want to call it, achieving your goals. And the way that I find that I've done that successfully is by putting myself in as though I've already achieved it. Now, this is not about the how. This is the feeling you want to feel when you're there. Yeah.
mhm.
So if there's anything that could sort of, lean into in tonight's session is just that whole feeling of what it would feel like to be there, even down to the detail of diving into the swimming pool, getting up and looking at your plate of gorgeous tropical fruits that you're going to be having for your breakfast and stuff like that. So I take this to a whole nother level. But look, I tell you now, so it's not so much about, well, how am I going to get the QLAs? What is that like? Oh my God, I have got none, or it's not even feeling, it's like being there. So this is very much, about the focus group tonight. And I know Beck shared that she's had a gratitude board. I haven't got one of those, but I think it's absolutely brilliant. I'm very much more about getting into the vibe, and the vibe obviously is the energy. And so, if it's something that you want to try, I just encourage you that when you give yourself the space every day to, whether you sit and meditate, journal, you're walking, you're in the car, really just putting yourself into what you would feel like if you were there. It's not, like I said, we need to take away the excitement and the buzz and the clothes that I get to wear. Oops, unstable connection. Hopefully I don't cut out. Is that resonating with any of you?
Yeah, I think it's
I'm a bit. That's not me as a person.
Okay.
I'm very stand back and I just watch things and yeah.
Okay. Is that something because you feel like you a little bit reserved in the thought that you could not do that? Like, where's that?
Yeah, I don't give myself enough credit for what I'm able to achieve, and I know that is something I have had to work on, and I'm told constantly by people that I have worked with that I am far more valuable than what I realise, and far more able to do things than what I give myself credit for. But that's me.
Yeah, it's something that you have to work on, though, isn't it?
Thank you so much for sharing that, though, Sandra. Thank you for being vulnerable and speaking like that. That's beautiful. Look, all I could probably recommend if you want to try it, because no one needs to know you're doing this. So you're not really putting yourself out of your comfort zone because you're not talking to anyone other than yourself. Or the feelings that you're feeling is purely for you. So, even just laying there in bed, before you go to sleep at night, or when you first wake up, or there's all these times, of course, when we are on our own. Yeah. And it's in those moments, like, if we're going to think about something, why not think about something that we get to, visualize, and be a part of, and, put our dreams you know, into the forefront of our mind instead of all these crazy thoughts that we're having, you know, like interrupting them with what if, like just for a moment, and smiling to yourself of like, so what if I was there? Like what, you know, maybe wonder what my day would look like. No one needs to know you're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. fair
Have
enough.
fun with it, because you could just go absolutely wild with, you know,
Yeah.
oh my God.
But I like to know what I'm doing. I like to know that I know what I'm talking about, and that I'm being truthful. I'm
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
I'm upfront, and I don't like to. I think I'm too old to be involved in all this. How will I put it? Team building and stuff like that. It's that's a bit to me.
But most of it is like with ourselves, isn't it? Making, you know, having your positive attitude and, you know, learning to love yourself and knowing that you can do this if you know,
Yeah.
that's what you've got to get confidence in.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part.
And I suppose the context of what I'm speaking about, this is not about how we're speaking to people about the business or how we're sharing. I'm dropping you into is that vision of, if I was
Achieving, and
I was at Punta Cana,
Yeah.
how would I feel? You know, this is not about how I'm going to speak to people about achieving that. That's a whole nother conversation. This is just like any vision or dream or goal that we have. It's about putting yourself in the feeling of it, which I can tell you now what happens from that space. This reverse engineering occurs, and I can tell you many stories that it works, because I have a whole life that I've built from it. But it's literally like just putting yourself, you know, just say the context of you want to lose weight, want to lose 10 kilos. Okay, that's your goal. But it's about putting yourself into, how would I feel like when I slip that pair of beautiful jeans on that I saw in the shop the other day when I walked past the window? It's not like, how am I going to get from here to there? It's like the feeling that I'm going to achieve by achieving that. Yeah.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I can very much relate to that. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
exactly what. So then if you drip this into that vision, not saying that you want to go to Punta Cana, I'm just saying that like Sandra, you're not too sure that you're not, you know, this in your mind at the moment, like, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Stop thinking about the how and just be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't achieve it, you haven't lost anything, but had this beautiful imagination that's given you joy thinking about the possibilities. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one
Well,
can take that
it's
from us.
like 5-year plans, isn't it? You write it down and then you sort of forget about it. But when you look back, you've achieved it because you've had it there, isn't it?
And again, it comes back to the energy, doesn't it? Of the intention of what we've put into something. We've planted that seed and we forget about it. But there's so much fun and joy when we actually sit in the feeling of the possibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No one can take that. And that doesn't cost anything. Yeah.
No, fair enough. I'll take
Yeah.
that.
And so, so it may not be Punta Cana, but maybe for, you know, even just the conversations that you want to be having with others around understanding this is just like, just the look on their face of them going, oh my God, this is just incredible. Thank you for sharing what you have with me. Like, it's not about what you're actually going to say to them or how that conversation even looks. It's about what you're experiencing from them in the moment when you get to that point where they go, oh my God, you've just like, I feel like you've saved my life, or, you know, whatever words come from them. Yeah. Getting very dark here.
Yeah, we're done.
You seem to be darker than you, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Beautiful. So anything from that or anything else that you would like? You know, there's because there's a monthly call, Sandra, that we have that you can jump on, which is more about business building, more about you, like if you're just starting out, there's a trainee call that Cecilia could probably tell you about. I'm not too sure. I think it's at the first week of the month
Yeah,
that you can jump on. But like I say, the university, the training at the back in your back office is
Good, yeah.
brilliant. You know,
Yes.
Yeah, see, I haven't done any of that.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. So there's so much, just don't
There
get
is.
overwhelmed. Know that there's something there for you. But honestly, the best education you can get is just jump on your scanner, scan yourself,
Yeah.
have a look at your reports. You don't have to understand it all, but you'll start relating stuff and then you go, wow, okay. Oh yeah, that makes sense. You know, I was so, you know, my muscles have been really sore. So it's suggesting magnesium. Well, let's give it a go. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think
And
I'm
I
really-
still don't know. There's still so much that I don't even know. I mean, I still haven't even finished my phase 1 training, you know, so
That was great. I've done phase 1. I'm just about to start phase 2.
Well
It's
done.
it's just another layer, you know, it
Yes,
just
I
helps
love them.
put everything kind of falls into place a little bit better, which is so good.
yeah, so this is that whole succession of learning,
Mhm.
Sandra, is just start out with the basics, what's there on offer, go in and find, you know, your blogs or your LLC, just see which one resonates with you. And then the phase 1's the next step. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Celia and I have decided that we're going to sort of make this like a work day. We're going to
Brilliant.
say, this is a work day. We don't go anywhere. We don't do anything. We have to be there
Love
and
it.
start doing training and listening to things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The only trouble is we're both very busy and we're both going on holidays soon and we're both
Wonderful. Wonderful.
We'll get there.
so we're trying to fit it all in, you know.
Yeah. And you know, even if it's, you know, say, so what's today? Monday is the day that you do your business. Is that what your ideal is? And then just it's just like, well,
it works.
even if it's 15 minutes, let's just commit that this is what I'm doing for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
great thing is you've got
Yeah.
someone else to be accountable now. So it's like,
Yes,
too.
exactly.
And you have
Exactly.
to do it.
Yeah,
yes,
you
which
have
is
to do it. So yeah, so we've just decided that. So
love
we
that.
will sort of make that a thing that, you know, and we help each other and
Love that.
yeah. Yeah.
Really powerful if you've got someone that you can throw ideas around and learn off. Sandra, do you have anyone over there in Melbourne that you, yeah?
Yeah, we've got a good team over here, and
Excellent.
I'm actually friends with Amanda, who I purchased the device from, and she's been a great help. And then, you know, there's Beck and Paige. So,
Oh,
you know,
wonderful.
well, I've got heaps. I've
Yeah.
got heaps.
Yeah, and I do truly believe that there is another uniqueness about this space, is that there really is just a really good, there's just
It's-
such good human beings.
It is, isn't it? You know, I've got access to Tammy's, you know, Tammy Ward in the States. We've got
Yes.
access to her things on Facebook. He's done so many. And then obviously Becky Coots,
Yep,
Kimberly, she's got stuff.
incredible. Yep.
There's so much.
Yeah. And again, it's just like, don't, you know, it's the overwhelm. You have to understand that you just take the snippets, and again, just circling it back. The best way to learn is on your device. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just play around and just say, hey, look, you know, and scan. Even if, you know, Sandra, you have to scan Cecilia all the time and that's all that you do. It's just like still playing, you know, you're still learning if you're doing the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, you don't need to know all the answers, Sandra, because I am a bit like you. I think I need to know everything, because if I don't, how can I possibly explain it?
Yeah.
But when they see it, they will start to register. I noticed that when I eat cucumber, it repeats on me and it's coming up red or something. So a lot of the times they will identify things. And you just learn to ask different questions, because remember, we're not diagnosing stuff, we're just looking for patterns. That's what I learned. Because I thought I have to be perfect, but we don't have to be perfect.
No.
We don't have to have degrees in any of these things. We just have to know how to ask the right questions and give suggestions. And as Michelle says, bring it back to emotions, you know.
Yes.
And something I learned, I don't know who said it, but even with the inner voice, when they read
so
through the
dark.
reports, they can use the emotional suggestions as a journaling prompt. Right, so if people are into journaling, they could, and you know, it comes up, I'm angry versus confident or something.
Yeah.
You could, anger can be anything, can't it? It can just be an indication that we need to make a change. We need to kick into gear, or we need to do something. So it can be an opportunity for some journaling, which can also help with the whole process.
Yes.
Yeah, I
that's-
love that, Sandra. I love that.
Yeah.
I haven't
It's
even
not
thought of it.
mine. I heard that from someone and I can't remember who it is to credit.
Really, really good thing. And then when we start looking at the physical side or the metaphysical side of, you know, anger,
Yes.
that's the whole, it's in our liver. Yeah. That's
What?
how,
Yes, metaphysical anatomy.
yep. So, you know, our organs all store emotions. This is why we're working with what we are, you know, our metaphysical anatomy. That's beautiful. Yeah. So the liver is anger, the lungs are grief.
But you know, shoulders are responsibility, because we say you've got the
Weight.
weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah.
So we know this innately. We sometimes just don't connect it.
There's a really good where did it was in Freedom. Who shared it? It might have been in our group over here. If I can find it, even if you do your own, you can go onto Pinterest or Google, and if you look up what's it called, where you can find out what parts of the body are related to the emotion.
You know who does some good stuff?
It's
I'll put this-
fascinating, but then you can start looking at, you know, even just use it for yourself.
Yep.
Yvette Rose.
There's another lady.
You can start sort of looking at your own report and go, oh, anger keeps coming up. Oh, my liver.
Yeah.
Oh, liver. If your liver's not functioning, you know, what can we do? Can I tell you right now? Castor oil. Get those castor oil packs onto your livers, ladies.
Sorry, livers,
Castor oil. Castor
Castor.
oil packs. Yeah.
castor oil.
There's a lady. What's her
Barbara, if
name?
you look up Barbara O'Neill, I'll pop her name in here. She's actually Barbara O'Neill, Australian lady. She's got a retreat over east, and she's got some fascinating information about just using natural, you know, garlic poultices and the incredible things with castor oil.
Really?
Really interesting. So
Yes, put that in, please.
yeah,
Inner
Barbara-
seagull is another one on metaphysical
Oh,
anatomy.
yes. Inner seagull. Thank you. Yeah. So all
Right.
these people, and this is the good thing about this, Sandra, is that you can just start linking things up, because it's
Yeah.
like, you know, we think about our gut, we always hear about it's our third brain, as it is. And you know, the relationship between our gut and obviously emotions is very powerful. But how, you know, when we've got an upset stomach, think about the parasites that were in our bodies that we've all got, and how upset they get. We can go down a whole rabbit hole when it comes
Oh,
to
can we ever? God.
yeah. But it's
Yeah.
fascinating. You know, the other day I've listened to this incredible biohacker, and he was talking about, which I wasn't aware of, that our eyes are actually an extension of our brain. You probably all know that, but I didn't know that. Our eyes are actually an extension of that. And our fingernails and toenails are an extension of our bones.
Yeah.
Who was the biohacker? Was it Dave Asprey?
Oh,
No.
I do listen to Dave Asprey, but Gary Brecker.
Okay.
Please. Oh, look, actually, if I can share in here, he has the most incredible information. He's fascinating. He spent 22 years of his life in the mortality industry. He is one of
Oh,
5 people in
wow.
the world that was used in the insurance companies and in courts to predict when people were going to die.
Wow.
And he got it down to within a month.
Oh,
Out of the
wow.
millions
That's-
and millions and millions. So Gary Brecker, I'll just pop his name in there.
Oh, awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you.
he's got some really powerful
Oh, Gary.
talks. Him and the other brilliant guy who I've just found is Andrew Huberman.
Oh, okay.
He has what's Huberman. I think that's how you spell his name. Probably not, but you'll see him. He's so lovely to listen to. And what I'm talking about that is he's got such a lovely tonality to his voice. Like he's one of those people you can just listen to and, you know, you don't go, oh, I've had enough. He's fascinating.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Fascinating.
Can I just ask, what is a biohacker?
Biohacking is just about using the ability of our human body to be able to change us on a level right down to our DNA, down to our genetics by you know, using natural means, which is brilliant with obviously the device, because, you know, I know we're doing biohacking just in that. So yeah, it's just it's a bit of a fancy, well, what would you call a fancy name for my own little scientist, really?
It's also, isn't it also about improving the quality and longevity of your life?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, without the need to medicate and, you know, do all that stuff that seems to be very common.
Yes,
these
it's funny.
days.
When I was younger, science was one of the most dreaded subjects at school. But now I'm just fascinated. I mean, I've always been fascinated with the human and biology and stuff like that. But when you understand actually how simple it can become, because I complicated it so much, when you listen to these gentlemen, they will break it down to such a level that you will just like straight away go, oh my God, why haven't I heard this information? Now, Gary talks a lot about the MTHGF gene mutation and how 44% of the population
Has it?
That's
That's a whole nother layer, Sandra. Don't worry about that just in a moment, because even I haven't got my head around it yet. But it has an impact on the way we absorb stuff.
Yeah. And how these young kids are getting fed in the morning, these cereals and stuff that have had, you know, the folic acid sprayed on them, and they can't process it. So it's like a dose of cocaine. It's fascinating. When you start listening to him, I guarantee, please let me know how you go.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm thinking, oh my God. You know.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But they have taught me, on top of being able to understand my scans and see, because I'm right into really looking at, because I've got the labeling it as hypothyroidism. I do have the MTHGF gene mutation. There's 5 gene mutations that if you've got one or all of them will affect different things in your body. And so it's so fascinating now, because I can look at my report and go, aha. And then when I started listening to Andrew Huberman, he talks more about how hormones and that, and the link between if you're not doing this and if you have that, and the glucose spikes and all that. It's really quite fascinating, but it's easy to understand, which is what I love, because I need it to be easy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we've gone down a rabbit warren tonight, haven't we?
Yeah.
But it's good. Yes, it's good
Yeah.
to find out these
Interesting.
things.
And,
Yes.
and to sort of, you know, maybe just go in and listen to these guys and think, oh yeah, I can either relate to that, or I think, oh my God, it's totally over my head.
Yes.
But, you know, it's just more information, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and for what we're working with, it's absolutely brilliant, because things will start going, oh my goodness, that makes so much sense why that is happening. That keeps coming up. You know, now I can look at the different micro minerals and macro minerals and see how you know, that's related to what's happening in my bloods, or you know, why my cholesterol showing that, and don't feel overwhelmed, Sandra, sorry. It's just that it all just starts, you'll find it'll just start making so much sense.
Yeah. We haven't had time to put a lot of effort into working this out and you know, getting on top of it.
Yes.
So between the two of us, I think we'll decide what we want to sort of concentrate on, and if we concentrated on it together, then we will, then I think we will
building it up, aren't you?
Best way. Absolutely brilliant way. And just and enjoy the process. You know, if you have fun with it, and you become your own little scientist, I can tell you now, you're going to discover things that you go, oh, now I know why.
Yeah, that's so true, isn't it? It's really fascinating. Once it starts to kind of make sense, it's really cool.
We do become our own most powerful healers. You know, we do. I'm not saying that we're not curing, we're not speaking. We all know we don't speak like that. But when we can relate, you know, now I understand these glucose spikes that, you know, we have, and just simply having a sip of apple cider vinegar before I eat. Oops, I've dropped out. I've dropped out again.
So now you know, when you have a sip of apple cider vinegar before you eat, what happens?
So what it does, it just doesn't allow you to have a spike in your glucose. So the apple cider vinegar just allows your body to process it slower. So so depending on and also the order that you eat. the glucose. Now the other really powerful person, I'm just going to leave you with one more. She's called the glucose goddess. I think she may have a YouTube channel, I'm not too sure, but I know she's on Insta. She's fascinating because she actually puts pictures up of, like, if you have a piece of bread, you know, like have your toast and your egg and then your juice, not saying that's what I eat, but I'm just putting an example. And then if you put it around the other way by having some fiber first, like an apple, and then your toast and then your juice, the difference in the spike of your glucose. And so the glucose plays a big part in the overall functioning of how things get processed in your body and how quickly. So for your metabolism and weight loss and all those things.
Anyway, it's very interesting. Thank you so much. Great.
All right, I think I've overwhelmed you enough. I'm sorry about that.
It's been very interesting.
It has been interesting. And
I look forward to meeting you at the show.
And just don't be afraid to ask for help, ask for questions. We have a plethora of people amongst all the different areas that can come back to you. Don't feel stuck, but keep it simple.
Ask anyone. Everyone will help you. Everyone will help you. That's the good thing about it.
Well, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey, I was saying.
We will, thank you. Well, it's just lovely meeting such nice ladies.
Likewise. All right, have a beautiful evening.
And you too. Thanks so much.
See you, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye.